watching this news thing that they released 3 hours ago of Neil deGrasse Tyson. Um, uh, when you look at every symbiotic, the universe being connected and everything like that, and you look about every symbiotic form of life that walks and so if I think if it's like a gorilla or an ape or you and it's walking towards you and it reaches out its hand for you, I don't know what that means in their culture or their perspective or whatever stuff like that, but I wouldn't be afraid that I was grabbing onto an alien penis like I would, when I tell Zeke to shake, I'm not grabbing his junk, right? And so I would think that, it'd be pretty much, if it's working and walking and talking like us, I would pretty much think that, that would be probably like how it manipulates matter to build its spaceship and shit like that, with its, this and everything like that. Life being eternal, grace being infinite, So that's the way I would perceive it. I wouldn't try to blow anybody's mind by saying you might be grabbing the alien's penis or whatever it is. I would sincerely doubt that. That if it walks around and looks and manipulates matter similar to us, I would pretty much safely perceive and look and mathematically equate that that's probably, I don't know how that works though, but if they've watched this as long as they say, then they would see the handshake as being more like a social convention that human beings do. But that's really just irrelevant. That's just to sell books and make money, which is absolute clinical insanity. And I'm certain that technology is getting better. It's just taking, they took me to Sierra Vista, Cochise County in 2006, around right before All Hallows Eve, right before, what's the name of that thing? Halloween, as you guys call it. And kiddos, they were so cute. We had to wait to get Natty into school because we were staying in a hotel for about 2 weeks. We weren't sure where we were going to get a place, and that was a fiasco too, because of economics and manipulation and bullshit. All these elite scientific thinkers at Fort Huachuca around me. Great and powerful Woz, right? Guys, when you're inventing something, and my dad does this a lot, he didn't know it was going to be used for that, really. When a scientist invents something and the applications and how it works, he did not know it was going to be used for this with the military or spyware equipment or to spy in a teenage girl's bedroom or get her to masturbate in front of guys so they could porkies through the shower wall. What a naive! They're so naive, and everybody knows they're all like Sheldon. There's no sexual, things. None of them are like Wallowitz and Kripke, right? They're all like Sheldon, right? Earl. Guys, don't believe these assholes. The great and powerful Wozniak knew what he was doing, and Wozniak knew what they were going to use the technology for, because you can manipulate people with money with the technology. They know exactly what they're doing. They're like used fucking car dealers. Okay, they put the they're like car dealers. They put the fucking Vaseline on your tailbone and they bend you over. And I'm wearing a condom so you don't have to worry about getting pregnant because I don't want to pay for anything. You get free service and all the oil changes for life. Yeah, and if you don't do that, you don't keep on the thing of it and stuff like that. They don't honor your warranty stuff. And when you go, everybody's doing that to get their worry on it. It takes, you don't have enough time out of your day to get it done. So then they know they don't have to honor the warranty. So the only person that has enough time to get it done is a housewife or a retired person. But if you work for a living, you got no warranty. I just do logistics on how these fuckers work. I'm a personal injury lawyer from El Paso. That's like Harper Lee's Imagination. Harper Lee's Imagination. Atticus Finch. Okay. Take a walk in their skin. Okay. Okay, Scout? Tell everybody, I'm the Boo Radley of Las Cruces, New Mexico for a reason, assholes. Okay, and I know your hearts, and I know your minds. Okay, every ounce of your fucking entertainment has something to do with psychotic brutality. Okay? If it's not the pit, repair the body, put it back in there. Oh, you saved my life. I get to go back to the salt mines. And I get to go back to being a softcore porn star. I'm a hardcore porn star. How makes my morning? The softcore porn star does. The hardcore porn star, you're just not talented enough to sing and dance and do a residency on Broadway or on Las Vegas. Ooh. People like to look at you getting fucked, but you suck at singing and acting. Well, that makes sense. Yeah, it does. Why didn't the great and powerful Woz tell us this when Sheldon was getting him to sign his old computer, right? They're assholes. I know they're assholes. Trust me, I know what I'm dealing with. Okay, guys, it was 20 years ago when these perverts thought they were ready to take on a messiah in close proximity to what they were doing. Okay, and come and challenge him at a store where he had an extortion gig, and because of political correctness, he had to be nice to them, and they could be abusive and shitty to him. You're an idealist, and you get people killed. Oh, that's real sweet of you. God damn, you're a really nice person. Thanks for coming to the store and taking time out of your busy genocidal day to come and harass me and have me. So what's he going to say? What's he going to do? I'm going to be polite and I'm going to be nice because I want to pay my children extortion because I want to try to spend as much time with them as I can till assholes like you, through sexually predicating on my wife and affecting her kids, do things to make my life even worse. So they say, he's going to lose it. He's going to lose it. I'm not going to lose it. Why? Because life is eternal and grace is infinite. A couple times, I thought I was going to lose it. Okay. But I'm the eternal spirit of Adam, Moses, David, Jesus, John. So I have these schizophrenic voices in my head say, Earl, call ahead, or people are going to try to do something violent to try to kill you, and you will have to end up killing them, defending yourself. Okay, thanks, Jesus. Love you too. You're the best. They're going to do this to you. Or like when I went to go get the water and the dog food, and the cops threatened to shoot me. Remember that? Okay. You know, Obama, you were there. It was during your administration. Yeah, you know, Susana Martinez, you were watching it. Right. And I was pissed. I was tired of being harassed. Like with Justin Hill, I always loved Justin. But when we used to go to family events and I was there, he glared at me like I was fucking Jeffrey Epstein. You're a pervert. All the stuff about you and Natalie, you're such a pervert. You're such a pervert. I'm a pervert. Okay. Do you have a top security clearance in the U.S. military? Neither do I. So I guess neither one of us are perverts. But why do you judge me by what people that you go to church with top security clearances in the military say about me? Because I'm honest. I say about what's happened in my life. You can't lie about it. Because all the people with top security clearances in the U.S. military know everything that happens in your house. They're manipulating everything that happens in your house. So you're wondering, what the fuck is going on? This is crazy. It seems perverse. It's insane. And how do I get through it? Earl, call ahead. Are these people right? Earl, get up and go to the bathroom. Earl, you've got this. Okay, I know I do. I'm the Ark of the Covenant for a reason. And if other people think their comic book can replace me as the Ark of the Covenant, will you go into Cochise County right around the time of the Epstein stuff happening and shut that fucker down? Okay. I think that was their science readouts. I think they were going to try to trap me in with the activities that led up to that. Okay, in order to get me in Cochise County at 2006, right before All Hallows Eve, you had to be doing the Epstein stuff to set up the situation. Boom, ba-dum, boom, boom, ba-doom, ba-dum, boom, boom. Great, Sean. John P. Diddy, sell my line. The world is mine. I'm selling it all at Kmart for cheaper so you can afford my clothes because I'm the sweetest guy in the history of shut shops. I'm Shaquille O'Neal and I support this message. Yeah. Guys, you don't sell clothes that cheap if you don't get the right deals to make the clothes for that price. Shit, guys. Kripke doesn't know what's going to happen. No, Kripke doesn't have a clue. Wolowitz doesn't have a clue what you can do with that technology. And neither does Tyra Banks. Well, we know Tyra Banks does it, but we know Wolowitz does, right? All right, let's go sandwich Sailor Moon at a Comic-Con, right? Oh, these fuckers are assholes. And you guys are, I know exactly where your heart's at, and I know exactly where your head's at. Southwest, Auto, tune-up, do it, now. Okay, stand up for a Lord's Prayer. No! You want your business to be successful. Right. We want to win state championships. In consumer training that is now bombing Iranians and incarcerating migrants that have been maneuvered around the world to create invent conditions for tribal warfare. To have everybody fighting over violent sex, because these are biological and psychological conditions over violent sex cults, transhumance warfare over tens of thousands of years. Right? And so the brain goes right back into doing, oh, here they come again. Here come the Visigoths. Here comes that. Oh, they're moving over there. Hoo-ah, 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 hoo-ah. These people are migrating and they have to migrate. And it's the same conditions over violent sex cult warfare because of irrational arrogance and ignorance over tens of thousands of years being manipulated like we're playing that stupid board game about the North African thing of World War II with Sheldon while Bernadette's getting ready to have a baby, which none of that really happened. The game, no, they didn't even play the game. They were pretending to play the game. They never finished that. There's no way in hell they finished that. Maybe some of the camera crew and the producers did, but not the people that were on the acting thing. You really want me to do that? No, I'd rather go have sex with Callie. We're dating, right? I hear you, Johnny. I would too. Okay, me too. Ride 'em, cowboy. Okay. Yeehaw. Ride 'em, cowboy. Don't let 'em throw you down. Just started in New Mexico, right? So, we'll get things. That was a good return. We'll get things going, and shit, I'm tired. I'm so tired. But guys, we're before. I've worked really diligently at making sure that hypocrites are equally held accountable to their hypocrisy. How many shit since the Holy Crusades, they've been taking so-called Christians and Muslims and mass murdering each other in the name of our God's better than your God, our God's better than yours, our God's better because our God eats kitteration, our God's better than yours, right? And so, fuck. Spell God backwards. Dog, there you go. Okay, so how do you know God's not a dog? Okay. Think you work with professional assassins for the British company as a Scottish person and then say how bad the British are? It's like you work as oh, goddamn. Alan, your uncle's a real asshole. I can't stand hypocrites, man. They get on my nerves, man. They'll jump your shit. Oh, you can't date a Campbell. Well, you know what the Campbells did? It's like you work for the British government. Okay. To maintain their banking status quo thing. Yeah, because they run the whole thing. Right. Okay, Earl of Bruce. But I can't date the Campbell girl because something her relative did 200 years ago. Right? It's just fucking stupid. Yeah, and he thinks that way. And he's supposed to be this Buddhist that acts like Alan Watts. Right? And you're like, God damn, You can't date that person. They have an afro. We have red straight hair and they have afros. You can't date them. I bet you the babies would be cute. Yeah, me too. Okay, so most likely it happens a lot of the time. It happens a lot of the time. Yeah. When a pink or peach person marries a brown person, a lot of times the kids are really cute, and then when they get older, it's like, oh my God, do anything to bone her. That's a special feeling. Like, look at Malachi, he's gorgeous. I like his braids, and he has those green eyes. And every time he looks at me, I feel hypnotized. It's better than fucking Biggie Smalls talking. Oh yeah. Do-lang. But the thing about it is physical appearance only goes so far, especially if they got ego problems. Like I had to really work on Natalie. No. Be somebody that a really sweet, cute, kind handsome guy that does like his mom told me, Earl, don't worry about being good looking, good guy, good looking bum at any gas station, but be a good person. And then you can date anybody, like my dad said. It might as well, you can have sex with anybody. It might as well be with someone that you care about and someone that you can trust, someone that is faithful. Faithful, faithful, faithful. I'm going to commit to you, and I'm not going to have sex with anybody, even though everybody tells me I'm the most beautiful woman they know, and and everybody loves her, everybody tells her, yeah, and and someone hangs up when you answer the phone. So you know what I'm saying. So and it happens. Oh yeah, it happens. Okay, women do the same thing guys do. Trust me, I have been hit on. Okay, most of, with me, though, it wasn't really hit on. It was different, because I kept to myself and I didn't go to bars and stuff like that. I wasn't like, what's his name? David Houston. Okay. What happened? I'd be working and then there's talk going around town, and, I know the neighborhood and the talk wasn't cheap. The talk was right. Okay. When Marty showed an interest in me, everybody knew my wife fucked around. It was Sierra Vista, Arizona, and everybody knew what a great guy I was and what a wonderful father I was. It was a small town. Same thing happened in Sheridan. It did happen a little bit in Sheridan, not much because I didn't get out, and there wasn't really anybody I was really interested in, except for my wife. Some of the girls that were brown at Cheyenne girl and the black girls, Ralph. I'm half your age. I don't care. I just want a good husband. Yeah, especially if I got a good insurance policy. No, I don't. You never know. You never know what can cross people's minds and what desperate things they'll do if they feel trapped in a situation in Sheridan, Wyoming, and want to get back to Sacramento. But they could enjoy Sacramento and San Jose better if they had a lot of money and didn't have to live in the ghetto. And what their family's like and what their family would talk them into. You never know. So you always, pensamos primero somos, before you think with your dick. Sit there and go, yeah. Like the one girl, the little black girl at the football game at NSI, and she was all looking, and the guys were, I'm going to my cycle, Ralph. It's like, yeah, she knows what she's doing. She's sticking her butt out, and she's looking back to see if we're all watching. And we're all watching. Of course we're all watching. We're guys. Me and Dave Peterson. As I'm in my cycle, Dave would go, I'm in my cycle too. No, hypocrite. No, Navy SEAL. What's his ass name? What was his name? Nate Reynolds. No, he was never that honest with the kids and tell them, yeah, I think it too, but I can control myself. No, me and Dave were the only ones that talked to those kids like humans and told them, what were we talking about? Halle Berry again? Blake, take all the time you need in the back shower. We knew. No, talk about Halle Berry. Don't talk about that. I need something to think about while I'm in the back shower. They all wanted the back shower, right? Take your time. So, no, you got to get it done. We got people waiting, It was funny, but we joke around with it. Shut up. You're blowing my thing. It was joking, but yeah, was it joking or serious? It didn't matter to us. We were teenage kids once. We wanted to have sex with Halle Berry, too. We shot Michelle Rodriguez. Looks like, yeah, I'd do anything to bone her, Lloyd. That's a special feeling, right? Me and Dave knew, but you control it or it controls you. That's why they liked me and Pete so much. Okay? This guy's faithful to his wife. And then they found out Nate's got everybody at the work site fucking his wife at the bar. And Dad knows. But there's nothing you can do about it. You can't stop you can ask your wife not to fuck all them at the bar because they're just using you to try to keep me from getting their job. You could explain it to her, but she's not going to listen. Women never listen. They listen to everybody but their husband. They have no respect for their husband. Especially, if he's not ambitious and doesn't do it the way the rest of the cutthroat assholes on the Tyler Perry movies do, right? So you got to understand, when you're a couth person and you have values, and you're surrounded by people that would rather fight and fuck and get a piece of paper to fight and fuck over money than stand up for the Lord's Prayer with Earl and rather smile because they got a job eating a hamburger for billionaires, so billionaires can stay billionaires holding food hostage. You know how gorgeous the Messiah is, okay? And the technology, it's taken me 20 fucking years. 20 fucking years, guys. This All Hallows Eve 2026 will be 20 years since these assholes decided to expose themselves to me. You know? We'll never reveal you to the world. You'll never win. You'll always be a loser. You'll always, Johnny Knoxville will be more famous and make more money than you. Okay, I don't want to make that much money. I turned down all that money I asked you guys to give me on a crypto or Bitcoin card back in 2020 for Kate's birthday during the COVID to get us all to where we could go in the mountains and recover. And you said I have to join the Temple of Set Illuminati first. And I know the contracts that the people have to sign in the Illuminati. You can't stand up for the Lord's Prayer. You have to accept the money because no one else will stand up for the Lord's Prayer with you. So accept the money because Parsons is a loser. But that wasn't the contract for the Temple of Set Illuminati before you showed up. I don't know. Don't you think Krishnamurti and Suzuki were a lot like me? Those people didn't exist. The Lord's Prayer didn't exist before Earl Parsons. Those people were so jaded, they didn't think it was tangible to live the ways of Jesus Christ or Muhammad worldwide. They were like that guy. You're an idealist and you get people killed. I know how computer program. I know how the great and powerful laws work. Doesn't work. Okay? I know how to make technology work so we don't have to see shit like this anymore. I'm sick of seeing shit like that. That stuff is disgusting. They don't care about Shelby. They don't care about Trisha. They don't care about their kids, and they don't care about their grandkids. All they care about is making lots of money to send those people to the Mayo Clinic and to St. Jude's. Witness. History. That's insane. It's absolute Nazi warfare insanity. Pyrotechnics. Those things, that stuff when it breaks through the water vapor, it also has chemicals from the jet fuel that is way more poisonous than sitting there sniffing paint fumes. But they need your business. At the hospitals of Providence and Samaritan, notice how they use all the biblical and religious words with their industry to Watergate and Waterloo you too, Napoleon. Want to be exiled to a fucking island with a turtle on it that lives longer than you? I want the DNA of the turtle, so I'm turtly enough for the Turtle Club. Illuminati, Pupunati, Hupotaba, Chupacati. I'm only half the Illuminati. They're not even half me. That's what I'm saying. I'm playing NCAA football 2014. Yes, I am. That's where I cut it off. Because that's where they told me I was never going to, quote, win. I said, I ain't playing. I'm connecting to get everybody to live the Lord's Prayer. No image and likeness here. Money's not real in the kingdom of heaven. Money was the devil's invention that had us all addicted to the delusions of human power and authority to try to kill the Christ by getting people to volunteer to serve Satan instead of serve one another through serving the faithful love of the Lord. I happen to be the faithful love of the Lord. Past, present, future operate at the same time. Life's eternal and grace is infinite. I never said I was an omnipotent, omnipotent God. You said that David Rockefeller and Philip Rothschild could replicate omnipotence to keep us all safe with money and bombs and espionage weapons. I'm not the great and powerful Waz. I'm not great and or powerful. God is the power and the glory and the greatness of all existence. You know, like Muhammad Ali said, I was the greatest, only God is great. As I know that because God is always, you know, Malcolm X explained to me what the Quran is really like because Elijah poked full of shit. He's Elijah Muhammad my ass. Right? But I can't say that or they'll kill my family. You know, that, oh, he had courage. He went in the ring and fought this guy. Trust me, Muhammad Ali knew that El-Hajj Malik El-Shabazz had way more courage than he did. He just hoped someday that we'd all live the Islam that Malik promised him we would when he had his prayers with the 1322nd Redeemer. Yeah. Oh, Muhammad knew. Cassius Clay knew. You could see the fear when he fought. You know, sometimes he was afraid. that he'd get beat because he was getting older and it was hard. But he just said, I just got to take the beating because I got to pay my bills. And maybe someday what Malik said will happen. What Malcolm said will happen. It will. Maybe someday, because he was an apostle. And he still is. He always will be. Remember I told those people on Facebook in the Nation of Islam, oh, I don't know if Malcolm was saying. No, I don't care what you think Malcolm would say. I'm the Messiah, and I say who's an apostle. And I tell you that he's an apostle. I talk to him in prayer. I never talk to you in prayer. I'm talking to you through the devil's invention. You think you can worship with the great and powerful Oz and the Zuck and the Sandberg. You're not female, so you can't go have sex in the back of the plane with Cheryl. Maybe you can have sex in the back of the plane with one of the guys there that, promotes sodomizing each other to death with Discovery. He's probably really smart. Probably has a degree in video game developing. Yeah, really smart. He's a video game developer. Can get your head to believe anything. He gets it to believe. He works at Fort Huachuca. All right, he doesn't work there. No. He abuses people there. Work is ringing in the sheaves. Work is making sure you get malaki for the little Batma malaki for the little Batma. That's my Batma malaki. I remember when I had to go in there and cover her mouth because she'd cry. She didn't want to go to bed early. And I'd leave the door open so it'd be light in there and she wouldn't be scared. And she'd still go in there and fuss. And I told her, no, you're getting tired and it's time to go to bed. And she'd cry and she didn't want to yet because she didn't have to. When it was just me and her, I let her go till she passed out. Because she didn't like being regimented. She wanted to be with you until she fell asleep. That's just the way Natalie was. And I knew that, and I just got used to it. And so that's what I did with her. And Patrick went in, no, because I wasn't going to put him there, and Patrick had to go to school. And so we stayed out there, and we watched for young so small until she literally just passed out, and I picked her up and put her in the crib, and she slept good. But that was just Natalie's modus operandi, and I think she got that from daycare and her mom having to work nights and stuff like that. So I adapted, and okay, I get it. I understand. I see where she's coming from. And that's what I did with my Ray. And then, because you're supposed to be on this regimented schedule, Val and Dave and then Amy was agreeing with him, no, just go in there and beat her. Okay, okay. If you don't go in there and fall asleep the way I say, I will beat you until you submit to my physical training. And I was like, I don't want to do that. So I'd go in there and I'd cover her little mouth and say, they want you to come in here and lay you down to bed and all that stuff. And I'm okay with it. Because they would, they'd all bitch if I let her just stay out there and hang out with us while we were talking and then just fall asleep and take her and lay her in the bed. I was like, God damn these VeggieTale, Amy Grant, Pat Robertson, they're really pissing me off. And I'd go in there and put her mouth over. It's okay. I got the, and I'd tell her, Natalie, I've got the door open. You can hear us all talking and the lights on and it's not scary. It wasn't that. She was just mad. She didn't want to be in there. She wanted to be out there with us. And they'll throw a fit though. They want me to beat you. They have these moral Christian values they get from their fucking psychotic military-trained pastors, like Bobby Knight and Connie Chung acting like, oh, I don't pay money to go kill people for what I want to sell. I'm a liberal. I'm better than conservatives. You write your name in cursive, and if you can't do it, we'll all make fun of you and make millions of dollars off of selling products held hostage by billionaires on our fucking show. Anybody want to go to the Kimmel Bowl and see if the camel throws up? And take all the kids' Halloween candy, except for the Mounds and the, it's just the Mounds. People like Almond Joy. I like Mounds better than Almond Joy. I love almonds, But, it's even better as you get Mounds, you get a bag of raw almonds and eat those with your Mounds. Because everybody knows dark chocolate's better than milk chocolate, especially you get older. It digests better and it promotes better heart health. Because the chocolate has a thing that helps with your circulation. Can't eat too much, but it helps. Chocolate and almonds help replenish a lot of things that women will lose when they during their menstrual cycle. So it's something you want to think about to have around. And it gives them a feeling like they're in love. So when they're in that miserable part, when you eat almonds, it provides it provides iron when they're low on iron because they're losing the blood. And it also, instead of taking iron supplements and stuff like that, almonds are excellent at helping keeping you regular. So they're wonderful. They're the king of all nut. That's why, and people knew this. The Hebrews know this. The Arabs know this. If you had lots of almonds and stuff, that's what you got for your women. They didn't have chocolate. It was on the other side of the planet. But I don't know if they had almonds. And then when you can get them both together, and you got a wife, dark chocolate and almonds, you're on your menstrual cycle, here you go, honey, I love you. Okay, La, I'll be back in about a week, and then lots of sex. That's the way I used to be at first. She's like, you're terrible. I don't want to be around you when you're on your cycle. But I'll give you chocolates and stuff like that. And if you need to, I will rub your feet after you take a shower. And then I'm going to leave and go play basketball. Because you're mean, just like Miriam. Okay? When it's done, I'll be back. And you're not going to be able to keep me off of you. I'm going to be on you like white on rice. Okay, what are you doing? He's always having sex with me. It's like he doesn't stop having sex with me. It's only for a week. Get over it. I rubbed your ankles and your feet and rubbed your temples and gave you chocolate and dark chocolate and almonds all week and didn't let the kids harass me or bug mom once. Okay, then for 1 week out of the month, you can handle me being on you like right on rice. What kind of a wife are you? It's funny. It's true. Yeah, I know. It's the ancient Hebrew in me. What can I say? Okay, guys, I love you. Focus on 1 week a month. 1 week of a lot of really fun sex with your wife because we're doing things right, share, care, giving according to need, built to last, and ringing in the sheaves properly. If that's not good enough for you, if you don't like playing with your kids, if you don't like having cantaloupe parties with your kids, if you don't like playing basketball with your buddies, okay, when you're trying to get her pregnant, then you got, that week after, no, we're nesting, we're making sure everything's right. Then for 2 weeks, hey, she's like, come on, get me pregnant. Man, you are such a boss, and I love it. Okay, do you understand? Pensamos primeros, Holmes. Don't be the great and powerful boss. He's an idiot. Be like me. I'm gorgeous. Okay, peace out.